I remember sitting at my kitchen table one Friday evening, staring at a pile of unopened bills. My laptop screen glowed with reminders I couldn't ignore: credit card balances, overdue subscriptions, and yet another email about my paycheck being delayed. I felt trapped, like I was treading water in a financial storm that would never end. No matter how hard I tried to stay on top of things, money seemed to slip through my fingers. And then there was the constant anxiety about the future. AI was everywhere, replacing tasks, changing industries, and making job security feel like a luxury I couldn't afford. I wondered, if machines are doing more of the work I used to rely on, how will I even keep up? I wasn't just worried about money, I was worried about control, independence, and the small dignity that comes from knowing you're managing your life responsibly. I was overwhelmed, exhausted, and honestly a little afraid. Every day felt like a balancing act, and some nights I just wanted to bury my head in the pillow and ignore the numbers blinking on my phone. But one evening, after scrolling through yet another article about AI-driven financial apps, I decided to give it a chance. I didn't expect a miracle. I didn't expect to become rich overnight. I just hoped to gain some clarity, maybe even a few small victories that could chip away at the stress. Little did I know, those small victories would slowly change everything. Not in huge, flashy ways, but quietly, consistently, until managing my money no longer felt like a nightmare. And that's exactly what this story is about: the small, everyday wins that AI gave me, and how they transformed my relationship with money, confidence, and the future. A few weeks into trying to regain control of my finances, reality hit me harder than I expected. I had always assumed that if I worked hard, saved diligently, and planned carefully, I would be fine. But the numbers told a different story. My savings barely kept pace with inflation. Everyday expenses were creeping higher. And just when I thought I might catch up, AI automation was reshaping everything around me. I remember reading an article about AI tools that could replace tasks I'd done for years. Tasks I thought made me indispensable. The more I read, the more I realized the future wasn't just uncertain, it was urgent. Jobs were evolving, income streams were shifting, and the security I had taken for granted was slipping away. That anxious feeling in my chest? It wasn't going away. I was caught between wanting to adapt and fearing I wouldn't make it in time. One evening, after a particularly exhausting day at work, I opened my laptop and stared at my bank account. I did the math, slowly, painfully. If my expenses continued to rise and my income remained the same, I'd be treading water for years, maybe decades. My heart raced. The financial safety net I thought I had was thinner than I'd imagined. Panic whispered in my ear, "You're not ready. You're behind." But right there, on that quiet, stressful evening, a small spark of possibility appeared. AI wasn't just a threat, it could also be a tool. A tool that could help me track, optimize, and reclaim control over my money, step by step. That's when I realized, this story wasn't about doom or despair. It was about action. About fighting back with the very technology that felt like it might replace me. And that's where my journey toward everyday financial wins truly began. This turning point, the fear, the tension, the looming uncertainty, was the push I needed. It forced me to confront my financial reality head-on, to stop ignoring small leaks, and to start embracing every small victory AI could help me achieve. Because in a world where change is the only constant, the first step is always acknowledging the problem, before you can solve it. After that sleepless night of stress and number crunching, I decided to give AI a real chance. I started small, downloading an AI-powered personal finance app that promised to analyze my spending, track savings, and even suggest investment opportunities tailored to my situation. At first, I was skeptical. After all, I'd been burned by flashy apps and overhyped tools before. But as I entered my expenses, my subscriptions, and my income, something remarkable happened. The app began to speak in a language I could understand. It didn't just list numbers, it highlighted patterns. It showed me exactly where my money was leaking, even in tiny, almost invisible ways. There were subscriptions I had forgotten, small recurring charges that added up, and unnecessary impulse purchases. Seeing it laid out so clearly was both shocking and liberating. For the first time, I felt like I had a map through the financial chaos. But the real game changer was the proactive suggestions. The app didn't just point out problems, it gave solutions. It nudged me toward simple adjustments: move $50 from daily coffee expenses into a high-yield savings account, optimize my grocery spending with AI-generated shopping lists, and even explore beginner-friendly investment opportunities that fit my risk tolerance. Each recommendation was tiny, seemingly inconsequential, but I started to notice something: they worked. Slowly, steadily, my control over money grew. One morning, I checked my dashboard and saw a small line graph showing my savings creeping upward. It wasn't a massive leap, but it was proof. Proof that small, deliberate actions compounded into tangible results. And with each little win, my confidence grew. Paying bills on time became less stressful. I started thinking ahead instead of reacting. I wasn't just surviving, I was learning to thrive. The app also introduced me to AI-managed micro-investing. I could automate small investments into diversified portfolios without needing a finance degree or hours of research. $25 here, $50 there, it didn't feel like much at first. But as the months went by, those small investments began to grow. Watching the numbers climb, however slowly, was empowering. It was proof that even tiny, everyday actions could build momentum. AI was no longer a threat. It had become an ally, a tool that guided me towards smarter financial choices and, more importantly, a sense of security I hadn't felt in years. This journey wasn't instant. It wasn't glamorous. But it was real. I went from feeling helpless in the face of mounting bills and AI-driven uncertainty to celebrating small, actionable wins every day. Budgeting, saving, investing, it all became manageable. AI didn't just manage my money, it helped me manage my mindset, turning fear into confidence, chaos into clarity. And that's the transformation, not an overnight miracle, but a gradual, empowering shift. Each small victory, every optimized purchase, every automated investment, every dollar saved added up. Step by step, I reclaimed control, one simple action at a time. And for the first time in a long time, I wasn't just surviving financially, I was winning, every single day. By now, AI wasn't just a tool, it had become a financial coach, a silent partner helping me make smarter choices every single day. And here's the thing, these weren't abstract lessons. They were simple, practical actions that anyone could take, no matter how tight their budget or how chaotic their finances felt. Lesson 1: Automate wherever you can. Think of it like planting seeds in a garden. You water them, tend to them occasionally, but the soil and sunlight do the rest. Setting up automatic savings transfers, recurring bill payments, or even AI-managed micro-investments ensures your money grows quietly in the background, without you constantly worrying. That $50 a week you redirect from little daily expenses? Over a year, that's more than $2,500, a small action, big impact. Lesson 2: Track and optimize relentlessly. Before AI, I was guessing where my money went. With AI, I could see every dollar flowing in and out. It highlighted unnecessary subscriptions, identified impulse spending, and even suggested cheaper alternatives for my everyday purchases. Imagine turning on a flashlight in a dark room, you suddenly see all the things you'd been missing. Knowledge isn't just power, it's freedom. Lesson 3: Micro-investing matters. You don't need millions to start. AI helped me automate small, diversified investments that fit my comfort level. It's like rolling a snowball down a hill, the first push is small, but with time and consistency, it grows into something significant. Watching even tiny contributions accumulate over months was more motivating than I expected. And the best part? AI removes much of the fear and guesswork, letting the data guide my decisions rather than panic or hype. Lesson 4: Treat every small win as a victory. Paying a bill on time, saving a few dollars, investing automatically, these are not trivial. They compound emotionally and financially. AI helped me see the progress I was making, creating a positive feedback loop. It turns the abstract idea of financial security into something tangible and achievable. Finally, Lesson 5: Embrace AI as a partner, not a threat. In a world where automation can feel intimidating, I learned to leverage it. It's like having a map in unfamiliar territory, you still walk the path, but the journey is clearer, less stressful, and more predictable. AI helped me reclaim control over my money and my mindset.
It transformed fear into confidence, confusion into clarity, and daily financial stress into small, repeatable victories.
The takeaway? You don't need to make dramatic changes or hit big jackpots to improve your financial life. By automating, tracking, optimizing, and celebrating the little wins, you create momentum. And AI is the lever that can make that momentum easier to sustain. Every dollar saved, every small investment, every optimized expense is a brushstroke in a larger picture of financial empowerment.
And once you start seeing the results, even in small amounts, the feeling is addictive and incredibly liberating.
So, start small, stay consistent, and let AI guide you. Because in the end, money isn't just about numbers, it's about freedom, confidence, and the power to shape your future, one everyday win at a time. Looking back on my journey, I realized the biggest victories weren't the numbers themselves, they were the changes in how I felt about money.
Fear and stress once dominated my thoughts.
Bills, debts, and the uncertainty of the future kept me awake at night.
But embracing AI in my personal finances shifted everything.
It didn't just track my money, it gave me clarity, control, and confidence.
Every small win reminded me that I could manage my life, one step at a time. AI became more than a tool, it became a partner in building stability.
Paying bills on time, optimizing expenses, saving consistently, and automating small investments gave me freedom I hadn't felt in years. I wasn't just surviving financially, I was thriving. The anxiety of uncertainty faded, replaced with a sense of empowerment. I learned that progress doesn't need to be dramatic, even the tiniest victories, compounded daily, lead to real transformation. And here's the truth, you don't need to be an expert, a millionaire, or a financial genius to start winning. Every small action you take today, tracking your spending, automating savings, or trying out AI tools, creates momentum for a brighter, more secure future. Money becomes less of a burden and more of a tool to shape the life you want. So, start small, stay consistent, and let technology guide you. Celebrate each everyday win, no matter how tiny, and watch them build into long-term financial freedom. Because the power to change your life isn't in some faraway dream, it's in the small steps you take today, one by one. If you want more stories that show how to take control of your finances, how to turn fear into confidence, and how to win every day, subscribe now. Every story is a reminder that financial empowerment is possible, and it starts with action.